Guys, what's going on? It's Jeff. The time has come. It's time for me to share my thoughts on First Light. Okay, I'm going to give you a full rundown on the project, so follow along. Let's go. Hey guys, this is the site. You can see it behind me. First Light's going to be built on the corner of 3rd and Virginia. Pretty amazing spot in the city. Great access to the Denny Triangle, South Lake Union, and even the Seattle waterfront. Pretty close to the retail core. You got Nordstrom just 3-4 blocks to the south. Pacific Place, Westlake Center, the whole bit. So anyway, enjoy the video, guys. Okay guys, I know this is kind of long overdue. I told you I'd be reviewing the First Light project. There's lots to cover, okay? It's gonna be a little bit of a long video. I hope you guys are able to follow along and take something out of it. So here's how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna break it up into 5 parts, okay? We're gonna start with the basics, then we're gonna discuss the development team. I'm gonna share a little bit more kind of about the location and my opinion on that location. We'll look at the kind of building finishes and the building in and of itself, amenities, the lobby, and then of course I'll discuss with you guys more specifics on the residences, the units themselves, and then also pricing. So let's get started. All right guys, you might recall that I was invited up to Vancouver, and this was this dating back probably 3 or 4 weeks ago before the sales pavilion opened. I had an amazing time, and I highlighted that in a video that I'll link to or show you guys how to take a look at that. Produced it a few weeks ago. In a nutshell, it gave me like a really good opportunity to meet Ian Gillespie, the founder of Westbank, who is the developer for First Light, and just kind of get a sense of why they do what they do and how they do it. I toured a number of their other projects and really got kind of a sense of what he's hoping to accomplish at First Light, and it really inspired me and left me pretty fired up about the project. So there's obviously so much to share with you guys. I think that you'll be very impressed if you could learn half of what I've learned just about their attention to detail, the type of building that they build, and what they like for instance the art installations that are part of these projects, and the amount of time and energy spent on the finishes and just making these projects really special. So I think First Light is going to be fantastic. I'm excited to share more with you guys now. So let's start with the basics, okay? Many of you guys have heard about the project so far, but Westbank is in fact the developer. Ian Gillespie founded Westbank back in 1992, and from what I can research online, they're up over $12 billion in either active projects or completed projects. So in a lot of ways, he might be the most notable developer in all of Canada. So we can expect another one of these Canadian developers that put an emphasis on communal space, okay? And Ian's and Westbank's approach to this particular project is very interesting in the sense that he is really trying to intertwine this project with the culture and the fabric of Seattle. And I don't say that lightly. It's very obvious to me after meeting him and kind of seeing the emphasis that he puts on a sense of community, that this project is going to be exactly that. So getting back to some of the specifics of the building, it's going to be a 49-story tower. There's 459 units, and the amenity package is just out of this world, okay? As I mentioned, the developer is Westbank. The architect on the project is James Chen, often referred to by Ian as Jim. He has done some other projects and collaborations with Ian that are really stunning. And then the art installation, the exterior of the building, kind of the thoughtful, artistic element of the building is part of a collaboration with Logan. Is this gentleman who's bringing his creative brain to the project and really trying to create this sense of consistency throughout the project. It's very special. I think it's going to be pretty interesting for you guys to learn more about. Okay, so we have Westbank is our developer, we have Jim Chen is our architect, and then we have John Hogan, who's the kind of creative inspiration, the artist that's going to be adding value in all of the building's design, both exterior, interior, and all the above. So the development team, I think, is strong. I think it's going to be a absolute complement, those three together, and what they intend to build and doing something really, really special in the city. So let's move on. It's time to jump into location. Okay, so many of you guys are aware of 3rd and Virginia in the city, but if you're not, if you think of downtown as a whole, and I have lots of resources and maps and have marked off these every single neighborhood, so you guys can understand kind of where this project will be. It's really kind of on the border of the retail district, Belltown. So really kind of in the core, the retail core, Belltown, and it's right near the border of Denny Triangle. So for those that are familiar with Escala, this is just literally 1 block from Escala. It's also 1 block east of Cristala at 2nd and Virginia. So 2nd and Lenora. So this is really, in my opinion, a dynamite location. Okay, you have access to just about anywhere in the city quite quickly. You can get to freeways, you can get to the waterfront. You're basically 2.5 blocks from Westlake Center and also Pacific Place. You can get to Nordstrom, the movie theater, restaurants, all of those things quite quickly. And this particular location, this corner, 3rd and Virginia, is also on a major bus line. So anybody that plans on using alternative forms of transportation, public transportation, and for instance walking to light rail, which is basically 2.5 blocks away, the location is actually pretty sound. I think, in my opinion, as a city, we including myself over the years, we often focus on views and what's going on in and around this project that can alter the view. I'm going to try to stay away from that a bit in this particular review, because I think ultimately what we're going to find in Seattle is that over the next couple decades, we're going to let go of this culture that we've created about being so tied to our view corridors. I think we'll start to evolve into a city like New York or Vancouver, BC, where all of the buildings in our city can live together harmoniously, and even though our views may change, we're really investing into kind of the long-term structure of the city. We're investing in the fabric of the city and what the city may look like 10 to 20 years from now. I would encourage you guys, when you think about this project, of course I can share certain things that are around this particular site or projects that may be developed, but if we remove that lens and we just kind of focus on the location in general, this is one that I think has incredible potential. Now, obviously I've shared my opinions in the past about what types of units I like to target. One example would be corner units with 2 different exposures and lots of natural light. I've often mentioned in blog posts before and in my Seattle condo buying guide that I prefer street views. I love street views because regardless of how the rest of the city evolves around you, you always have this really amazing view. In some cases, kind of a Manhattan view where it lights up at night, and it also protects you from a view corridor perspective. So let's move on. I want to tell you guys a little bit more about the building, the finishes, the lobby, the amenities, and then we'll jump into kind of the residential spaces and my thoughts on that. Okay guys, let's talk about the building itself. I'm going to show you lots and lots of visuals, and I don't want to speak to necessarily everything about this building, you know, in terms of the construction method, and I simply can't speak to the level of finish as a whole, you know, outside of what I've seen that looks very impressive. Now we do have these amazing books that the developer has provided, which gets into a little bit of kind of the color palette of the project, okay? And for instance, right now I'm looking at the lobby color palette, and you're gonna have exposed formed concrete, honed black basalt surfaces, matte black surfaces, of course the light sculpture that was designed by John Hogan, a mirror polished stainless steel finish, cove lighting, gray terrazzo honed surface, white oak floors. I mean, I think from my perspective, the one thing that they absolutely nailed is that if I was to dream up the interior of a penthouse unit downtown that I was going to design and redevelop all on my own, many of the surfaces that they used, I think, in my mind, would have went into that penthouse. Meaning that, you know, I think everything that they chose and the time that they took to choose specific materials, I think they really nailed. You know, when you look at the consistency in these projects, or this particular project, excuse me, you'll see that the lobby palette is very consistent through then the amenity design palette and finishes. And then in the residential finishes, this is really fascinating to me. They just really simplified it, okay? There's these two variations of color, and I'm gonna show you some video as I work through this so you guys can kind of see the sales pavilion and the models itself, but it's a very, very refreshing level of finish, okay? It's white, it's black, it's opulent, yet it's not over the top. I think they really kind of used their the fixtures as an example very thoughtfully, in the hardware that's going into the kitchens and the bathrooms, and you'll see the marble and the level of finish in the bathroom space, and it's stunning. It's really, really stunning. They partnered with B&B Italia for a lot of the interiors. You're going to see lots of blacks, whites, grays. I'm going to read a little bit here and tell you guys just kind of a little bit about some of the finishes. Again, you have exposed concrete, you have a matte black solid surface, you have white oak floors. The one thing I loved is that they decided to just do one consistent floor throughout all of these residential spaces. So I think that was really thoughtful. White oak is very much on trend. It's also a very kind of luxurious floor that is well suited for anybody's taste in furniture and or finish. There's wall coverings that are very, very beautiful, and a white textured finish in portions of the bathroom, as well as brushed stainless steel. So the living rooms, the decks, the kitchen, you know, the kitchen as an example, let me run you guys through a little bit of it. There's basically the kitchen. So you're going to see this really, really elegant palette of colors. Mainly you have a white on black version and a white on black version. Did I say that twice? So you have a white on black version palette in the kitchen, and then you also have a black on white. It's very, very elegant. It looks fantastic. There's Miele Appliances, you know, which is, many of you know, German company. They build absolutely incredible appliances. It probably has the most momentum, in my opinion, for all home builders and condo projects right now. A lot of emphasis put on Miele and a lot of popularity for a number of reasons. In the bathrooms, you're going to see this really, really beautiful palette. It was in collaboration with Jim Chen, the architect, and B&B Italia. B&B Italia connected the project with a custom millwork manufacturer in Italy. So you see the cabinets both in the bathrooms and in the kitchen. was a collaboration and a connection through B&B Italia. So custom millwork, really, really beautiful finish. The white oak floors, I think, again, are just such a sound idea, plan of attack for the entire building. It just kind of creates consistency. One thing in Seattle that a lot of us know if we've been around condos long enough is that we had a tendency to offer too many options, I think, for finishes. And sadly, you know, a decade and a little over a decade ago, a lot of that finish just isn't on trend any longer. It was too yellow, too neutral, too cherry. You know, this is a bit of a departure from that, quite a bit of a departure. I think you'll find that it's really stunning. I'm going to show you some video and some photos from the sales office. Okay, so let's move on. I mean, this project would have what you would expect. Floor-to-ceiling windows, you know, obviously big views. The floor plans are very functional. I think they were designed very thoughtfully for many different types of buyers. So let's talk about the options in terms of units. There's studios, there's what we call an urban 1-bedroom, a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, an urban 2-bedroom, 3 bedrooms units, and then the penthouse level. So when you look at the building from top to bottom, you'll see that there's retail, office amenity, and then the residences start on 8, and you'll see studios all the way up to kind of the penthouse level. There are really, I think, a lot of options and good options in terms of picking out something that would work for you as a buyer and how you see yourself as an owner there in the building. And so one of the key components to that, of course, is that you get down to the pavilion and take a look, and they have big wide touch screens where you can go through different floor plates and options. And then, of course, this is something that I do. You know, if you guys have an interest in having me help you, having me help you be thoughtful about which side of the building you're going to choose and which type of floor plan might work for you or you and your family. I mean, this is something that I'm an expert in. I've been doing this for years. So I just want to throw that out there as an option for you guys. In terms of pricing and square footage, I wrote some notes here for you, and I want to make sure that I get this across you know, effectively. Your studios will range anywhere between 392 square feet up to 466 square feet. Your urban 1-bedrooms are approximately 548 square feet to 622 square feet. 1-bedrooms, 586 up to about 964 square feet. The urban 2-bedrooms will start at 686 and go up to 811. The 2-bedroom plans, they'll be as small as 903 square feet and as large as 1,423. And then your 3-bedroom plans, which are absolutely stunning, those will be a little over 1,200 square feet up to about 2,100 square feet. Penthouses, you're going to expect, you know, impeccable finishes. The square footage range is 841 square feet up to a little over 4,000. Now pricing, you're going to see pricing start from about 500,000 all the way, of course, well north of 4.3 million for some of those penthouse spaces. So in terms of giving you guys an approximation, it really just kind of depends on what you're looking for and what you're interested in. So the HOA fee range will be estimated at 91 cents a foot. And given the amenity package and what's offered in a building like this, I can't see that wouldn't be acceptable in this city. It's obviously a really wide range of amenities. Okay, so a couple other notes. Okay, in regards to the home deposit, so you put together the purchase and sale, it gets accepted, you deposit 5% at that point. And then 5% 18 months following the effective date of the purchase and sale. And the deposit will vary if you're buying a parking stall. Okay, so that's something to consider. Parking is available to certain homes at an additional price of $90,000. So they're going to sell that at $90,000 a stall. These questions. One thing that I think is going to be absolutely incredible is that the project is partnering with Amazon, and they are rolling out having Amazon Alexa in all of these units. Now this to me is something that I get totally fired up about and passionate about. I broke an article, some news actually recently this last year, where I spoke to the USA Today, where Amazon was going to put Alexa in a smart home with Lennar. Okay, Lennar was going to, one of the biggest home builders in the country, they were going to make a fully automated Amazon Alexa house. Okay, this is the future. This is what we're going to see for years and years to come. Voice automation to lower blinds, turn on lights, start appliances, so on and so forth. So that's pretty exciting. Okay guys, that is my thorough review of the project. I'm sure you're gonna have questions. I welcome all of your questions, concerns. I can certainly answer more questions for you in regards to my thoughts on the building itself. I'm gonna be releasing a new video with 5 reasons why you should consider purchasing at First Light. So that's gonna come out here in the near future. The infographic is already done and ready to deliver. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video and you liked my kind of analysis on the building, you know, listen, it's never perfect, but if you liked it, I totally would just ask that you guys do your best to support me by liking the video or commenting below with questions, concerns, ideas. And then if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. This is something that I hope to do more and more and more over the course of 2019 is give you guys a little bit more of my thought, analysis, and my opinion on some of these projects that you can invest in the city. So I'm glad you guys took the time to watch. If you're interested in getting together and heading down to the sales pavilion together, I would be thrilled to do that for you and with you. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.